this time.
Got to take her. Here he comes. That's Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 to pit road. Only guy.
Oh, Mr. Lonely.
That's a little treacherous, I might say.
Yeah, but the advantage that he has is he came by himself, carried a ton of speed on the pit road. That was really well done for Martin Truex Jr. getting to pit road.
You see what's going on here, don't you?
They're all coming.
No, I'm talking about that 21 behind him, 48.
Oh.
I just want to keep an eye on that, just in case.
Fuel only for Truex, who moves from the shuttered Furniture Row Racing now to Joe Gibbs Racing, bringing crew chief Cole Pern with him.
And Mike and Jeff, look, Jimmy Johnson and Paul Menard, they've talked it out, and that was a racing incident. But anyway, it was a racing incident.
Well, I really expected William Byron, Jimmy Johnson to come to pit road since they went to that bottom lane, but probably a few more laps. 5 cars stayed out. Regan.
Daniel Suarez hits pit road in the 41 car for the first time this season. He's happy with the race car right now. Tonight it's all about fun. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he wants to get his car off the splitter, Matt.
And the 18 took on fuel. He's already away. Most teams up and down pit road are taking fuel. Big wave of cars here on this run.
Kevin Harvick did not appear to me to be stopped for very long. Wondering, Larry, do you need a full can of gas? How much gas do you need to take to make it to the finish here?
Mike, you only really needed about 3 or 4 seconds of fuel because you're only 10 laps shy of making it without stopping.
Matt Tifft, too fast on pit road. His number 36 will do a pass-through penalty.
And I'm not surprised with just fuel only because these are cool conditions. Handling should not be an issue. Even though they weren't, these cars were in qualifying condition, they were able to make just enough adjustments to, I think, dial these cars in fairly close.
So still on the racetrack, all Chevrolets. William Byron, Jimmy Johnson in the 48, Chris Buescher's 37. Last year's Daytona 500 runner-up, Bubba Wallace, and Richard Petty's 43, and Ryan Preece.
I really like, listen, Bubba Wallace, remember what, he was a star of the show last year down here. He had a great car, and he's staying out. I tell you, keep an eye on Bubba Wallace in that 43 car. He's good at Daytona.
14 of 60 laps complete. Last year, all but a couple of cars stopped at lap 11.
Saturday, the earthquake returns to L.A. World featherweight champion Leo Santa Cruz is ready to rock his hometown crowd. It's a world title showdown. As Santa Cruz puts his belt on the line. You have got to be kidding me! Against Rafael Big Bang Rivera. PBC on Fox, live from Microsoft Theater. Saturday, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Not much here, except the usual. What if we spice things up a bit? Alexa.
What if we turn it up a notch? What if we go off the man?
The all-new RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car.
That close might get you on Race Hub.
Under the hood and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama, the stories, the science.
New levels of analysis and storytelling. And of course,
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
On February 17th, the stage will be set for racing's greatest day. A day to witness history, to feel the intensity, make lasting memories, and be on the edge of your seat. This is the day you've been waiting for. This is the Daytona 500. The greatest race awaits. Experience the Daytona 500 in person. Guarantee your seats before they sell out at Daytona500.com.
16 laps complete. Landon Castle led the last one, but he has not yet made his pit stop. We mentioned Kevin Harvick was stopped only for a brief period, taking on Sunoco Race Fuel. He is now our leader, ahead of Paul Menard and Ricky Stenhouse. Bad night for Brad. Brad Keselowski got a penalty, we're told, for pitting out of the box. If that is the call, that is a one-lap penalty. And then when he came in to serve the penalty in a stop and go, he was speeding coming off pit road.
Ouch.
Well, remember what I told you, Mike. Tonight you try to work all those bugs out. Maybe his tach's not right. Maybe his lights aren't right. Get that worked out tonight before you get in the 500 on Sunday.
Here's the NASCAR officiating system.
Really? Really?
Boy,
that's close.
I was going to say, I mean, I understand where that green line cuts across there, but that looks like it's cutting it a little bit close to me.
Pretty close.
And he's back, and the official one finger, one lap.
Yeah, you're not going to like this, Brad, but
Matt Tifft had difficulty on his stop. So did the 31 of Tyler Reddick and the 47 of Ryan Preece. What do they have in common? They are all rookies in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, and so this is their first race with the digital dash.
Yeah.
It's not used in the Xfinity or Truck Series.
Well, right now, Mike, what I'm seeing, who is that coming down here? Hemrick, right? What I'm seeing right now, look at the Fords. You got a Ford first, a Ford second, a Ford third. You got Truex in fourth. Then you got Suarez. Then you got Busch. So you got 4 Fords at the front right now, kind of doing their thing.
Well, this is just a game of numbers right now. If you get that many cars working together, and they were able to also link up with Mark Truex Jr., who came by himself. And so you take those Fords as well as, Mark Truex Jr., and they were out there for a couple more laps than the leaders like William Byron, Jimmy Johnson, and they were able to make up that time on track by drafting together as a group.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about Byron, and I think that the second place car there with Byron and then Jimmy Johnson, they were
Busch.
way back, and they have been able to chase these leaders down.
You know, I'm really curious to go back to that penalty on the 2 of Brad Keselowski, because I didn't think that that's a penalty if the tail of the car is over that line. I thought it's the rear tires, so we're going to have to do a little bit of investigating on the details.
Yeah, and that green line, I mean, the way the car was positioned in the pit box, that green line looked odd to me. In my opinion, right here's where that 24 car needs to better be on his game. There's a lot of slicing and dicing and a little bit moving around right here, so we'll see.
Well, Larry McReynolds is not only our strategist, he's also our rules analyst. Larry on the 2.
Well, I wanted to make sure I got this one right, Mike. So I've been on the phone, the hotline with the NASCAR control tower, and his tires and wheels were in the box, but they actually put fuel in the car, had the fuel can engaged when the car was outside the box. That's the reason it was a 1-lap penalty, and that's why he had to come back, because he truly did not give the 1 lap.
So there's the fueler working behind that green line. Now the car rolls,
I guess.
See, the fueler was outside the box.
But is it that, Larry, or is it the nose of the car broke the plane and the fueler was still plugged in as he was exiting? I believe that was what the penalty is.
Yeah, anytime that car is outside the box, there can be no work whatsoever done, not fueling, not tightening lug nuts, not anything at all.
You know, back in the day when we come down the pit lane like that, the gas can man would catch the car about 2 away and run with it all the way to the end of pit road if he had to.
Comes Jimmy. Half back. Still out there. 18. Nowhere to blend. Still out there at the top.
Ooh, this is a little more action than I think the 24 of William Byron was expecting. I knew that they were going to get out there and maybe try to lead some laps, but to get into the draft like this and take that kind of risk, you see William Byron close right to the rear bumper of Kyle Busch in that 18 car.
But I like this, Jeff, because the 48, Jimmy Johnson, gave Byron lots of room to move up, and then Byron backed up to the front bumper of Johnson, and then you saw how that helped shoot him forward right to the bumper of Kyle Busch. If this had been the last lap, they would have dived to the bottom and made a move.
And no doubt that's great experience for him to get.
And that guy sitting on that pit box, he obviously has a lot of confidence in that young man. So let him make those moves, stay out there, and try to get a good finish.
37 laps to go in dual race number 1.
I take a breath, I'm not gonna lose. This is what I came here to do. I was made for this. I was made for this. Holding the wire, holding the fire, built for the battle. I was made for this. I was made for this.
Mom, he's blinking too loud.
Sorry, is that too loud?
You don't need any more hormones in your house. That's why you chose Kraft Natural Cheese, made with fresh milk without the added hormone RBST. It's cheese, as it should be.
His is the oldest registered distillery in the United States. From a place where the water is cool, clean, and iron-free. Perfect for making Tennessee whiskey. Charcoal mellowed drop by drop for smooth sipping. Which is not the easy way. But it's his way.
It's hard work packing so much goodness into a $5 fill-up, but it's a labor of love. A love of filling your belly for only $5. All right, that came out weird, but you take my point. Stop into KFC for 5 different ways to fill up for only $5.
Today's Best Western? What is that?
Sorry, boys. Sorry.
With rewards points that never expire, you get free nights fast. Now stay 2 separate times and get a free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
You can't put a price on love. But if you did, it'd cost the exact same as a Reese's. Turns out love's kind of inexpensive. Not sorry. Reese's.
Coverage begins Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Sparks fly as Kyle Busch comes down pit road, flat tires on his Joe Gibbs Toyota that they will change. A lot of action here. Let's start at the front stretch and end up on the back stretch.
Well, William Byron gets a nice run through the tri-oval and gets to the inside of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Pretty aggressive move here. Side drafts a little bit, goes to the bottom, and his teammate Jimmy Johnson follows him through. Now, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, the 18 of Kyle Busch, side by side. You can see that side draft, the 18, gets him a run back. Right there, they make contact, turns the 18 around.
You know, Jeff, it must be something going on with the nose and the tail of these cars. It looks so much like what happened Sunday. With Jimmy Johnson and the 21 car Paul Menard. It's a very similar situation here.
Well, I think there's a little bit different situation. I mean, it looked to me like, Jimmy's car definitely came up and got into him.
I agree.
I
agree.
I don't see really much of a move on the 18 car of coming down.
Yeah. Just bad.
Dang it. I don't know what happened there. Damn it.
Obviously.
And the 48 is in. The left side tire's going on. You heard Jimmy moments ago say that he just has no idea what happened there. 48 car looks good, though.
The 48 hit the 18. That's what happened.
Kyle Busch, who's had 3 wins in his duel, goes spinning down the back straightaway off Jimmy Johnson's bumper.
It's a back-to-back big game Saturday on Fox. Bruno Fernando in number 24 Maryland try to knock off Charles Matthews in number 6 Michigan. Then Providence takes on Xavier. A big game doubleheader tips off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it. Progressive helps keep you out there.
Go further, breathe deeper, make your heart beat louder. It's a feeling you could only get on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Schedule your test drive at your local Harley-Davidson dealer.
Mom, he's blinking too loud.
Sorry, is that too loud? You don't need any more hormones in your house. That's why you chose Kraft Natural Cheese, made with fresh milk without the added hormone RBST. It's cheese, as it should be.
Right now, you can get 2 KFC Chicken Littles for $3. It doesn't get any better than that. Kapah! Actually, with 4 flavors to choose from, it did get better, and I stand corrected. Get any 2 KFC Chicken Littles for $3.
All right. Let's go.
Juicy, sizzling steak, hand-tossed original dough, fresh cut onions, crunchy green peppers, a delicious 4-cheese blend, and our creamy Philly sauce. All in the best Philly cheesesteak you can get on a pizza. Right now, get the new Philly or any large specialty Papa John's pizza for just $12.
My favorite piece of Daytona history is probably my trophy sitting back there on the wall.
Welcome back to the Gander RV Duel on FS1. Kyle Busch comes off pit road after another stop. Good bit of damage to his car after this spin. Here's some more audio from Jimmy Johnson.
Please apologize for the 18. I assume that's on me. Got to see the video, of course, but I honestly don't know what happened there. It's in 4 minutes. I'll pass it along.
So, Mike, the only thing I can think of, it's the same incident that happened Sunday. There's something about that 48 car that when it gets to the quarter panel of the car it's trying to pass, it turns right.
Well, here's Kyle Busch's response.
Tell him I don't want him to hear it. Use his eyeballs. That's twice. He's done the same thing in 2 races.
I mean, I tend to think this is a little bit different than on Sunday. To me, this car, the 48 car, definitely turned right and made pretty significant contact with the left rear of that 18 car. It's not like it was just, you know, air moving around the back and loosened them up.
It's, you know, I agree, Jeff, but it's just odd to me that it's happened twice, and it's the same situation both times. Looks very, it's unusual looking to me.
Well, the concerning thing is that Jimmy feels like he doesn't really know what happened and what caused it.
Well, air does. I know air is, it can do that to you.
We're back under green, and here comes Ricky Stenhouse trying to get something going here on the outside with William Byron and Ryan Newman in the 6th.
Really surprised that Byron is staying in the pack the way he is. And, I mean, he needs the experience. A young guy, he doesn't have a lot of experience. It's great for him. Just be careful. Remember what Chad said. Remember what Chad said.
Right there, William Byron gets to the left rear of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and gets him pretty loose. That might have been all the fun William Byron's ready to have here in this duel.
Goodness.
Boy. There is something about the way these Camaros move the air.
Well, and there's just no doubt these cars, you have to understand, you know, a year ago when NASCAR went to the rules that we have basically here at Daytona, that spoiler is really down low. These cars are sealed to the ground, and they are not very stable, especially when cars are around you.
Hey, watch that 96 right in the middle of all this. That's Parker Kligerman, and he has to race his way into the Daytona 500, and he's getting the job done. He's up to 8th place, but no help in the middle.
I have a feeling, Daryl, and you could probably back me up on this,
right there with Jimmy.
that I believe these cars must feel comfortable to these drivers. If William Byron is willing to take this much of a chance, and Chad Knaus knows what's on the line here, he must be saying back to the team, hey, car's driving good. It's stuck to the racetrack.
I think, Jeff, what it is they know that kid needs experience. He needs to be in these situations to know what is going to happen in the race on Sunday.
Suarez in the 41 there made the move on Martin Truex, almost got into the 19 as he dropped to that middle groove.
24 still inside, still inside. Still inside, you're in the middle.
That was too close. Tony Raines, Daniel Suarez spotter.
Low, clear loader.
How close was it?
Sparks flying.
Now we've seen Daniel Suarez. Look, he's going to go from the very top. Oh, just clears the rear bumper. Now, what's interesting is he got into the left rear of the back of Truex, but it didn't turn him. I wonder if the banking just was holding that car just enough where it didn't allow the car to turn like we've seen some other cars.
Yeah, well, we know that these cars are harder to drive on the straightaway than they are in the corners because they unload on the straightaway. So the rear of the car is lighter on the straightaway than it is when it's planted in the corner. So, but he may, I mean, watch this.
That's too close for comfort.
But watch, Suarez is going to hit that. He gets the 19 right in the left rear, but it doesn't affect the 19 much at all.
Great camera shot. At 190 miles an hour.
Not seeing the hands of Mark Truex Jr. inside that 19 car working the wheel.
And you know, we see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. up here in second place, and he has been a really, really aggressive restrictor plate racer over the last couple of years, and has had a fast car.
Now look at him backing up to the 21 of Paul Menard. I wonder if he's trying to make something happen to get a run on that 4 of Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick got the lead during, and here goes Byron. He's had enough fun for one day. And who can blame him? Kevin Harvick got the lead during the pit stop sequence. How'd he do it, Larry?
Well, Mike, you asked me how many seconds of fuel, and I said 3 seconds, and that's exactly how long Kevin Harvick was stopped in his pit box, which was quite a bit quicker than anybody else. We also look at a rolling time on pit road, which is from entrance to exit, and he was quicker than about everybody else on just overall time spent on pit road. That's the reason that 4 car of Kevin Harvick's out front.
Harvick, Stenhouse, Menard, 3 Fords at the front. Regan.